Look, look me in the eyes for just a second. Well, the lens, whatever. I'm going to tell you something right now that is going to it's going to make about half of you, let's say, want to shut this video off immediately because it hurts, right? It's gonna sting a little, but if you've got the stomach for the truth, then I want you to stay with me because selling on Amazon, that whole dream, that whole laptop lifestyle, the ship some garlic presses from China and retire to Bali, that whole thing, yeah, that's a lie. It's a trap. Actually, no. I'd say it's the equivalent of a digital sweatshop where you pay for the privilege of working for Jeff Bezos. Are you with me? That's right. I said it. And having said that, let me also say this. The dreams are big, but the margins are thin. I want to welcome you to the Home Business Hustle. I'm your host, Isai Rodriguez, and in my world, we don't do maybe, we do math. We don't follow trends. We build systems. No fluff, no filters, just the cold, hard truth. Let's dive right in. So yeah, I'm dead serious, right? Everyone and their mother is out there peddling these FBA courses, telling you that it's the ultimate path to freedom. But the cold hard truth, the cynical reality is that selling on Amazon is a race to the bottom where the only people consistently getting rich are the gurus that are selling the courses. And of course, Amazon themselves, right? I kid you not. Listen, I had a buddy, right? Let's call him Mark because I don't want to embarrass him too much, right? But Mark, he's a smart guy, right? Corporate background, understood numbers, he saved up 50 grand in his bank. You name it, he did it. He was on it, on top of his you know what, right? He spent 6 months researching a niche, finds this, ergonomic seat cushion or whatever the case was, some kind of cushion, orders 3,000 units from a factory in Shenzhen, China, pays the shipping, pays the customs, pays the professional photos, the whole 9 yards, right? Then he goes live, right? He's excited. He's seeing the sales come in. But then 3 weeks into his launch, into this, the going live, someone else launches the same exact cushion, but $2 less. Then a week after that, right? Amazon Basics joins the party, right? And in case if you don't know, that's Amazon's own private label, right? And they launch their own version of this chair cushion for $5 less. And they basically push Mark's listing to page 10 of the search results, right? Needless to say, Mark ended up with a garage full of foam cushions that he couldn't give away and a credit card balance that honestly makes me want to throw up just thinking about it, right? He lost $50,000 trying to build a business on someone else's playground. Are you with me? And the reason I'm telling you this is because most of you out there watching this right now, you're all about to make the same 7-figure mistake. You're looking for a way out of the 9-to-5, but you're walking straight into a 24/7 nightmare because you don't understand the math of the game that you're playing. Not everybody, I'm saying some of you out there, right? And by the end of this episode, I'm going to prove to you why the Amazon model is a financial suicide mission and why you need to pivot before you're buried in inventory that you can't sell. All right. So first of all, let's look at the actual math because numbers don't have feelings and they definitely don't care about your vision board. Are you with me? When we evaluate any business model on this show, we use what I call the Hustle Audit, right? It's based on, we look at equity, we look at duplication, and we look at the time costs of any opportunity, right? And let me tell you, Amazon FBA fails every single one of them with flying colors, right? So when it comes to equity, for instance, here's the one thing that no one tells you about when it comes to selling on Amazon is that you do not own your customers, right? Here's what I mean. If you sell 1,000 units a month, this month, let's say, you don't have 1,000 customers. You simply sold 1,000 units, right? Congratulations. But you have 0 customers, right? Amazon, on the other hand, has 1,000 customers, right? You personally can't email them. You can't put them on a list. You can't retarget them easily, right? You can't build a brand relationship with them. You're essentially just a line item in Amazon's database, right? And the equity in your business, that's a joke. You're building your house, your business on rented land, right? If the Amazon algorithm changes, which it does practically every Tuesday or so, right? If some bot decides that, your product description violates a term of service that you didn't even know existed, right? Then poof, gone. Your income is gone overnight, disappears. Your asset, that's worth 0, right? Now, let me ask you this. Does that sound like freedom to you? Be honest, think about that, because to me, it sounds like being an unpaid employee for $1 trillion company that would replace you easy with a robot the second that it becomes cheaper. And by the way, side note here, it's coming. It's on its way, right? I actually shared a funny story with my list last month. If you're on my list, it was the message about the Taco Bell drive-through incident. And if you're not on my list, well, then you're missing out, right? Anyway, let's talk about the time cost of passive income with FBA, right? See, the gurus, they love that word, don't they? The passive, they love to throw that around. So let's talk about the actual math that you never see with the word passive in terms of Amazon FBA, right? The math, it goes something like this. And again, I've seen this math I've seen it play out many times before, but again, it goes like this. You spend 40 hours a week sourcing products, talking to suppliers in different time zones, right? Arguing with freight forwarders, managing your PPC ads, where the cost per click is skyrocketing because the market is so saturated. And if you are running ads or and stuff like that, you probably notice that they probably took a hard hit right after Black Friday, right? And that's because the market, the system is so saturated at that moment, right? And at the end of the day, after Amazon takes their 15% referral fee, their storage fee, their fulfillment fee, right? And you factor in your advertising costs, most FBA sellers are lucky, and I mean lucky, to walk away with about, a 10% margin, right? Do the math on that. That means that to make $10,000 a month in actual profit, not revenue, profit, right? You have to move $100,000 worth of physical goods. Are you with me? You have to risk $100,000 in capital just to clear 10. Right now, I don't know about you, but to me, the risk to reward ratio there seems to be broken, if you will, with that whole equation, right? Seriously, it's insane if you ask me, but it's linear scaling at its worst, because every time you want to grow, you essentially have to buy more inventory, right? If you want to make more money, you want to grow, you need to buy more inventory. You're constantly cash poor because all your profit is sitting in a warehouse in Ohio waiting to be sold. Are you with me? Right? You're not a business owner. You're essentially an inventory manager, if you will, right? Who essentially isn't getting a salary. And now, what about the duplication thing? Where is the duplication with FBA in terms of it being a business model, right? Because in my book, real wealth, what I call residual royalty, comes from leverage, right? It comes from a system that works when you don't, right? But with the Amazon model, there is zero duplication. You can't teach 1,000 people to do what it is that you do and then benefit from their efforts, right? The guru's version of duplication is selling you a course on FBA success, right? That's not duplication. That is that's a content business at best. Are you with me? In this whole FBA equation, you're the bottleneck. If you stop researching products, the business dies. If you stop feeding the the PPC machine, the ads, the sales stop. It's literally a treadmill, right? And the second that you stop running on this treadmill, you go flying off the back of the damn thing and you hit the wall right behind you. Are you with me? Listen, the cold, hard truth here is that selling on Amazon isn't a business model. It's a fancy 2025 digital, or 2026 now, digital version of your local flea market, if you will, right? It's a high risk inventory gamble where the house always wins. The house being Amazon in this case, right? Now, it's like you're basically fighting for crumbs while the platform, again, Amazon, takes the cake from you, right? And don't get me wrong, don't hear what I'm not saying, right? I buy a lot of things myself on Amazon, so I know someone is making money, but at what cost, right? As a business model, again, look, I'm not here to burn your house down and walk away. I know why you're looking at Amazon. You want the leverage, you want the scale, you want to work from home and stop trading your life for a paycheck. Listen, I get it. I really do. In fact, I'm right there with you, right? And the thing is, there is a model that actually works and provides all of this, right? There is a way to build a residual royalty that passes the hustle audit with a perfect 4 out of 4 score, right? I'm talking about a structure that has a 60-year track record of success, not some fly-by-night algorithm hack, right? And it requires absolutely zero inventory, right? So, no shipping boxes from your garage, no arguing with suppliers, no Amazon basics coming to steal your lunch money, right? It's actually pretty amazing. Like, if you could imagine a model where you actually own the equity, where the math finally works in your favor because your overhead is basically non-existent and the leverage is already built in, there is such a model, right? So I've actually been analyzing this model for a long time, and honestly, it's the only thing that I've seen that allows a regular person like me and you to build a high 6 or 7 figure income without the inventory trap or the cold calling nightmare that ruins most home businesses, right? I know you know what I'm talking about. But here's the thing. Most people will never see it because they're too busy chasing the shiny object, the latest guru, that, whatever it is that guru is flashing on Instagram, right? They're too busy making these, what I call the 7-figure mistakes, right? So that being said, I've put together something for the people out there who are actually serious about the math. I've created the 7-figure mistake audit checklist. This is the exact tool that I use to strip the hype away from any business model and see if it's actually going to make you free or just make you a slave to a different master, right? If you want to see how this 60-year-old model stacks up and why it's the only one that I'm putting my weight behind right now than you need to get this checklist. Stop guessing, stop gambling your savings, stop being a pawn in Jeff Bezos's game, all right? Follow the link in the description and grab the checklist right now. It's free, it's fast, and it might just save you $50,000 and 3 years of your life. Now listen, I'm done watching people get burned by Amazon dreams that turn into inventory nightmares. Get the audit, see the logic for yourself, and let's start building something that you actually own. All right then. The audit is now closed. That's it. But your move is just beginning. You've got the math. Now go get the money. I'm your host, Isai, and this is the Home Business Hustle. Remember, if it doesn't scale, it's just another jail. Stop trading your time for a dime and start building your royalty today. I'm out, friends. Take care. Bye.